everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Stating the Obvious. We're glad to have you with us. You should challenge yourself this episode. Try to listen to the whole thing. And if you do, leave a comment that says, what do they say? What do the comments say, guys?
As to why Noah is wrong.
Why?
Those are the only comments that have had success so far.
We've only had one comment so far.
And it's been a success.
Okay. I don't know why you're framing it as a challenge, Viswa. Like, I feel like, making it to the end of an episode should be, like, easy, right? Engaging, fun content, not a challenge at all, right?
Of course. Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yep. Because for me, it's definitely like that as well.
I've never listened to a full episode.
RIP. Well, there you go.
Okay, if you do listen to this full episode, leave a comment that says just Noah.
That's it. Just Noah.
That's it. That's all. Speaking of Noah, why don't you start us off with an obvious fact?
Okay, well, my obvious fact for this episode is the current state of multiplayer video games is pretty sad.
This is very true.
Jacob and I, we were talking about this recently. Like, we feel like, League, as fun as it's been at times, mostly like soul destroying, but, sometimes fun. I feel like it's run its course. Like, I kind of, want to go move on to like greener pastures. Unfortunately, there are no pastures to move on to. I have no idea what the fuck we could play outside of League or Valorant. And that's pretty sad.
I feel like there are a lot of, restrictions in terms of like PC power and also like money. And just in general, I think the gaming industry is not making as many like games or as many unique games as before.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I can't remember the last like big video game release that like I was really excited for. I feel like Battlefield, Call of Duty, those like used to be like perennials, and like now they're both kind of like in the garbage dump. And I don't know, like Destiny 2 is going down the fucking chute.
Well, I feel like there is an exception to this rule.
It's done. Destiny 2 is done.
I think the PlayStation like single player games and like single player franchises like God of War and like Spider-Man and like Horizon, I think those, like Last of Us, I think those are still doing well and are still good games that are being made that people are excited for.
That's great, but like we can't like get the gang on like a fucking single player game. Like, are we just gonna like take turns playing God of War?
I'm saying like in general, like single player games are doing okay. I think multiplayer games is where a lot of the problems lie.
Yeah, it's a struggle.
Guys, I'm saying chained together, guys. Like,
what the fuck is chained
together? Did you guys have a
together?
session at one point?
No,
I've been trying.
I am willing to do this shit. I'm willing to purchase the game.
Okay, I threw him down.
Hey, please leave a comment if you want to see us play chained together.
What the hell is chained together?
Please do this. Otherwise, Noah's not going to do shit. So please, just do this for me, for my sanity.
The fuck is this game?
See, already he disagrees. He doesn't even know what it is, and he disagrees.
Exactly.
Okay, you haven't explained shit.
This game is like all over YouTube.
Noah, do you know that game where that guy sits in like the pot and you have to use the axe and like climb yourself up?
Getting over it.
Yeah,
it's like that, but like with friends, and
that sounds terrible.
It's like chained together. So if one of your friends makes a mistake, like
you
get set
fall.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, you all fall. Yeah, but it's like teamwork.
I don't think our friendship would survive. I'll be honest.
The game released, it blew up. Okay, and then everyone was streaming it and playing it and everything. I feel like if we jumped on that train, started making like content, I feel like we're a funny squad.
Is this what we've devolved to? We're content creators now. We're Twitch streamers.
Yes, Noah, I will buy you cat ears for your next birthday.
We're YouTube Shorts guys.
Connoisseurs.
Hey, the YouTube Shorts are hype. Okay. They're well edited and they are funny.
Actually, you know what? Instead of just taking our word for it, you should go look at our YouTube shorts. See if you enjoy them. They're some of the funniest highlights and clips from our podcasts. I think you guys will enjoy them. And if you see them, leave a comment.
Yeah, I feel like we keep talking to the audience like, they're this like formless entity when we could probably just like call them out by name, like most of them.
Rip.
Rip.
But this will change soon, Noah. You have to believe.
All right, I mean, whatever you say, we're playing fucking like Chained Together or whatever.
All right, you heard it here first, everyone. We are playing Chained Together.
I maintain I like nobody talked about this to me. Like you're making it sound
we
like
have sent so many messages in the group chat about it.
No.
We have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't read the group chat.
I begged, bro.
Like
Well,
I don't read
problem.
that.
Okay, cops, just redeem us here. Give us a good, nice, obvious fact.
I have an obvious fact for you, Jip. And PJ,
I thought Cobb just said no. I've never seen that twist.
PJ, it is medical related, somewhat.
Oh, okay, very good.
Somewhat.
Well,
somewhat.
we're bringing back the bit.
Well, it's
Medicine with
a
Cobb.
little bit. But technically, you only have about 3 minutes to live. And every time you take in a breath, you reset the timer.
Dude, that's stressing me out right now. Like, oh god, I'm a little stressed
You
out.
just hear like the fucking like Mario like running out of breath sound.
No, dude, I'm actually pressed. Now, you know how when you try to like focus on like breathing, like to stay alive, like you struggle to breathe.
Oh yeah.
Like you start thinking about
I've
your
not
breathing
had
a lot.
that.
I'm doing that right now, bro.
Just like you're now breathing manually.
Dude, it's hard to breathe manually.
When I was a kid, I learned that, this is when I was pretty small, I learned that big animals with like long lifespans, like whales, took really deep breaths. And I started to also take really deep breaths passively.
To like
And
increase your
ever since I got
lifespan.
my allergies, I took really deep breaths.
I actually have a double obvious fact. Speaking of whales, BJ,
Okay,
whales besides humans, whales are the only known mammals to undergo menopause.
I didn't know that.
Now you do.
Why do menopause like
Well, I read an article on this the other day, but so obviously like evolutionary.
Wait, so do whales normally have like periods?
Like it all involves like eggs moving, but sometimes they don't bleed. And I'm not a biology expert, but I just know this is different because some animals I know have different number of ovaries, have different number of uteruses. So it looks different for different animals. But I'll tell you, I read this article the other day about like why menopause is even a thing, because evolutionarily, if you think about it, right, like females, like they need to reproduce. That's like what would be selected for, right? So why is it that humans and like whales are having strong female figures move past like reproductive phase? And it's because, well, at least the theory that they proposed is that whales and humans have females that play strong familial and community roles. Like a lot of times, like the grandmother whales are the ones teaching the grandkids how to hunt and how to socialize. And it's usually like a matriarchal society for whales, especially like orcas, which is where they did a bunch of the studies on. And so kind of the same thing, if you think like humans generally speaking, you have like older women who are in charge of raising a lot of grandkids or play strong roles in their community. And so there's an evolutionary advantage besides just reproduction, where you don't have that in a lot of other animals, like systems, like tigers and big cats and stuff. Like once females move past like raising their kids past like 2 years, then like they don't play any role in their kids' lives. And there's like no community per se. So it's basically just reproduction and done.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of humans that operate like that.
No, that's fair enough. But what I said was generally speaking from like huge evolutionary standpoints.
Fair enough.
That's valid, Cobb. You're very well knowledged on this topic.
In the medical and biology things.
So yeah,
That's why we have the segment.
now we know. Like whale grandmas, very important.
They are.
Have you ever met one, Cobb?
I have not.
Spoken to
I've spoken to a beluga. I have interacted with a beluga whale before. SeaWorld.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was that like?
It was pretty cool. We chatted, They talked about how sad they were that they were just in this tiny cage.
What?
And at SeaWorld.
Oh.
God, you know that animals can't talk back, right? Like,
But
you know that, right?
I heard her, Noah. You gotta
Cobb,
believe me. We were
Cobb,
interacting.
you're not allowed to go into the tanks, Cobb.
Rip.
I just hope you know that.
Cobb, you know this, Cobb.
I know this,
How
I
many
know this,
times do we
I
have
know
to
this.
fucking tell you, dude? Like, you just gotta stop jumping in the tank. Like,
I will remember for next time. I keep thinking I'm a fish.
That makes sense. I also confused Cobb with the fish.
I am under the water.
Have you seen that video of the beluga whale like out in like the Arctic Circle where that person on the boat like dropped her phone and the beluga whale like went and retrieved it from falling and brought it back to her?
Yeah, that was me, actually.
Oh, okay. Just so you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyways, Pranay, you've had plenty of time to prepare, so if it's not good, I'll be very disappointed. Like very
real quick,
disappointed.
On the thing
So
of four
much so.
voices and see things. There's actually this. I heard about this on Radiolab. One of big plug for Radiolab. There's like some experiments some time ago in the 80s or the 60s or something, where they tried to raise like a dolphin. Like this one woman tried to raise a dolphin, and they like lived in the same room, which was like half water and had like a floating bed, and like this woman grew with the dolphin. I mean, she was already an adult, but like she was living in there for like 5 years or something. And there was some weird stuff that went on in that experiment.
Didn't you have to like jerk the dolphin off?
She did have to jerk the dolphin off because the dolphin would get it was a male dolphin. It would get sexual urges and it would get like aggressive if you did not satisfy those sexual urges. And like the experiment was trying to find like a language, like tried to translate their language and find like bridge the language gap between dolphins and humans, but it didn't really work out.
I mean, honestly, I can't blame him that much. I mean, like, look at him, no hands. Like, what are you gonna do?
I mean, dolphins are known for that kind of stuff. No, I think dolphins are the only other.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
Wait, dolphins are freaky. What the heck?
I think dolphins are the only other animal to like just go out and masturbate and have sex with other like things. Like just rape other stuff.
I'm pretty sure lots of animals rape other stuff, if we're being honest.
Yeah, but like others outside of their species.
No, including outside the species.
Like that kind of behavior is not. It's definitely not exclusive. Like we see dogs all the time just start like humping things. Like
yeah, I mean it's not exclusive, but usually it's with like inanimate objects, right? Dolphins usually like just find clams and like other fish to do it with, and like they literally just kill them in the process. Like dolphins are known for being very sexually aggressive.
Clissy too good.
Okay,
yeah. Bro, add that.
Okay.
Bro, add that.
Okay.
I just want to end the episode.
My obvious fact.
Renee, no, this is what you did, Renee. I want you. This is the route you took us on.
Okay.
Redeem yourself here, or you're not speaking for the rest of the episode.
That we only consider things to be random when we don't understand them.
Cobb, kick him out, Cobb.
Rip.
That doesn't make any sense.
It does.
Okay, give me an example.
Okay, so in one philosophy class I had to take during CMU.
Oh my god.
Big topic of discussion was, free will or not. Right? And the argument against free will is, if you had some sort of like computer or machine or some like algorithm to fully map out all like the interactions between like the quarks and the protons, and you fully understood everything, you could map out everything that happened and like would happen in the future. And in theory, this is perfect knowledge and foresight about the way the world works. But a common counter argument against this is that a lot of times it's simply not possible, and that we attribute like things that we call random right now is just stuff that we don't have the capability right now to fully or thoroughly understand. And so we say, like, when you flip a coin, we say, or roll a dice, it is random because we don't have like the tools or capability to map out like all the interactions of all the forces acting on that dice, whether it's like the air pressure differences or like how it rolls off your hand or like what, gravity interacts with it and whatnot. Like we don't have that capability, and so we just label it with it's being random because we can't. It's like a random event because we don't fully understand.
We've had a lot of segments on this podcast, but I think that was by far the most boring.
Damn. I mean, I'm usually the one roasting Pranay, but like Cobb really just like brought out the big guns here.
Oh my god, bro.
Just like execution straight to the dome.
Fuck.
Pranay, I'm sorry.
He's actually dead. He's dead.
I think we've had to like remove your obvious hack license. Like,
well, I happen to like it. I don't know. I like the math and philosophy things.
I mean, it just I don't agree with it. Like, we can like simulate like dice like rolling and like coins flipping. We just choose not to because it's a waste of time.
I mean, we don't do it in a perfect environment. I'm just giving these are just examples, but I'm sure 100% sure we do not have a machine that perfectly does it. Like I will. Like 100% sure.
I mean, like,
I don't think you realize how difficult it is to really do that.
Like, what do you define as like perfectly does it?
Like what a dice rolls every time you throw it, right?
Yeah, like it doesn't have any inaccuracy.
I mean,
like the stuff we have says with like 90% probability it is this, but 90% probability is still randomness.
okay. I mean, like the way like your framing is like we don't understand how the dice rolls.
It's we don't understand like, or we cannot map, like we cannot write a function to map out all the interactions to all the causes to all the effects.
I mean, I feel like we could though, unless like you got down to like the quantum level. I mean, it would just be like really hard and time consuming and probably again like a waste of time.
I mean, it's hard and time consuming and like it is computationally infeasible, which is why we call it random. Like there's some, for example, like there's a classic problem called the 3-body problem. It is,
shut up.
In theory, if you have computational abilities like that exceed their current capability, you could do some crazy stuff in solving a problem, but like we just call it random because we don't have that ability.
So are you saying the amount of things that are random will decrease over time?
Yeah.
I mean, it should, right? If our computing abilities go up.
I guess so.
I mean, is that true? Like, have we seen that?
I mean, yeah, I think you can consider a lot of things in nature that people used to think as random, and now we've found like some other, intuition about how it works, and it's at least less random, maybe not completely.
Yeah, I feel like even just like sex, right? Like whether the child is a boy or a girl. I'm sure people must have thought it's just random, but now like.
Oh, you meant like the other sex? It was just like a dice roll, like which hole does it go into? Like, how do you get into it? No idea. We're just like fucking flopping around on each other.
I was like, what? Dude, what?
I mean, by Pranay's logic, it's still random though. Like, you can't like predict like what gender like a baby's going to be with like perfect certainty.
That's also true.
Until you see it.
Jit, do you have an obvious fact for us?
Actually, I do, and it's not the one that you're expecting. It's kind of based off this a little, but it's something I read, which is like, this is my obvious fact, is there's a point in which like something can happen or something will happen, but there's like a very specific point, but we will never be able to actually like truly capture that point. This low-key sounds like Pranay's, but let me explain. Let me give an example. It's like, if I offered you $4 billion to like cut off your pinky finger, right? Like, would any of you take it?
Yeah.
Wait,
right, but if I offered you, $4 billion.
Okay, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
I don't fucking use my pinky.
I feel like that's like a good number of people in the world will take it, I'd say. But if I offered you like $1,000, Noah, to get rid of your pinky, would you say yes?
I'll admit that's a harder question. That's a harder question.
I'm saying no.
I mean, look, man. Like again, I could use $1,000. I mean,
no. Okay, Pranay. I'm gonna ask a more reasonable.
I will not do that.
Most people would not. No, look, we have to have a talk about your like financial situation after this.
Okay, like you don't have to expose me on this podcast, but okay, like I am poor. I'm very poor.
After this episode, we'll You know what? That's why you need to like, comment, and subscribe so we
You
can
can start paying Noah.
we can get Noah the bag. Yeah.
Charitable
Yeah, but Jit, I
foundation.
get what you're saying. Like in between that 1,000 and 4 billion, there's a point at which you turn from no
Exactly.
to yes.
Yeah, but you will never. There's like a cent, right? Because that's just how money works. So there's a cent, like a value that goes all the way down to the cent that you would be willing to take versus not take, but you can't actually know where that is because that 1 cent different, right? If I was really gonna offer you 4 billion, but now I'm saying 1 cent less than 4 billion, like it's so small that you're not gonna know, but there is that value that exists, and that's the same way with life, Cobb. Like your obvious fact was the breathing thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like the 3 minutes. There's like a point in everybody's life where like a second, millisecond, nanosecond, whatever, where like things have changed. Now they're irrevocably like unable to continue living. Like no matter what the issue is or what the disease is, like whatever their issue is, there's that like second. It's like someone's being like has asthma attack and they're in the ambulance, whatever. There's like a specific time in which that person can no longer be saved.
Yeah. Yep.
This is why I always hated it when, like, in debate, they were like, show us a bright line. Like, at what point does this thing happen? Like, sometimes you don't fucking know.
Yes. 1,000,000% agree.
Yeah, no, I think we should have just told them that in the debate round.
Yeah, honestly.
Just trust. Just trust me, bro. Like,
Yeah.
just trust. It'll happen. It'll happen. Like, don't worry about it. But yes, that was my obvious fact. I kind of like giving obvious facts. Maybe I will keep giving obvious facts in future episodes.
Leave a comment if you want to see Jit's obvious facts in the future.
Yeah, I will comment. I will leave the comment say
Very
Jets
nice.
should do more obvious facts. Okay, but Pranay, I feel like you have something to share with us. Start off the regularly scheduled part of this episode.
Yeah, I have used to have a website, and it was not formatted exactly the way I would like. So I've made a new website now. So this is my website and blog plug.
Nice.
Just keep in mind, if you go to this website, you'll actually get to see what Pranay looks like. So
You will. That's true.
So if you're curious to see the man behind the mask, open up his website.
You just got to click the link below. It's right down there.
Oh,
Okay,
damn.
but Pranay,
They're
you want
actually
to read
putting
out
it
that URL for? You want to read out that URL for us?
The URL is my first name, PRANAY dash last name, GUNDAM.github.io.
And what kind of content can we expect on this website?
You can find a lot of things. You can find, it's kind of, the website is geared in the sense of I am a prospective PhD student, but it's like in the sense of it's written from the perspective of a PhD student. What they usually have that is like a nice about section. That's where you'll find my picture. I have a teaching section. You can look at the classes I've TA'd in the past. There's a section about my work, which is some of the projects that I have going on right now, some of the papers that I am authored on. My normal CV is there, but most importantly, my blog is also on there as well. And I think I've mentioned this once very long ago, but I'm mentioning it again. I have a blog, cover a bunch of stuff from econ, thoughts about different random econ concepts that come to mind every now and then, just personal updates about what's going on in my life. I have a section about food, more specifically Pittsburgh food. So yeah.
Cool.
Very nice.
Fire. Make sure to check that out, as well as every episode of Stating the Obvious.
Yeah.
I feel like this episode has been like 20% plugs
A
by
massive
volume.
plug.
Like it's just like every other minute.
No, we have to try.
I know we have to try, but like, don't you think we're like laying it on like a bit thick? Like we sound like our own ad reads.
I mean, no one else is going to do ad reads for us.
That's true. That's like sad but true. I'm just saying we might lose like all 3 of our new subscribers.
Rip.
If like
You're right.
this is not the content they're coming here for.
You know who else might lose, Noah?
What?
There has been a recent change in the Democratic Party. And last episode we asked Noah his opinion on Joe Biden and the whole political climate. And we asked Noah, do you think Joe Biden will drop out? He was like, nah, no way. I don't see that happening. Lo and behold, like the next day or so, he drops out. Now the vice president has stepped up as the candidate, right? Officially a candidate now. And honestly, Noah, I just want to hear your thoughts on this.
I mean, I will say, like, I think my assessment was mostly born out of pessimism. Like, I felt like, an 80-plus-year-old man riding this country down into the depths of hell, like, just about, like, seemed to sum up the last 8 or so years of living in the U.S. So, I mean, I did not expect anything else. I'm pleasantly surprised, but, like, I feel like it wasn't, like, a massive misread of the situation because, like, let's be real, like, optimism has been dead since 2008.
Rip optimism.
But yeah, I mean, like,
what about Optimus Prime?
Aren't they like doing like a new Transformers movie?
Yeah, with Chris Hemsworth as Optimus.
I'll be honest, like the kind of like the new like Transformer models kind of weird me out.
Yeah, I don't like them either. They remind me of Furbies. I don't know why, but they do.
Yeah, just something about the faces doesn't sit right with me. But like, anyways.
Anyway, no, I want your opinion on Harris because last time you said she was so unlikable that you wouldn't even give her a napkin.
Okay.
So
I stand by that. I stand by that. Look, Kamala Harris, I feel like we could do better in terms of like politicians, like in terms of people who go on camera and say things and like, do things in front of crowds professionally. I feel like we could do better. But you know what? I feel like the country is ready for a person who speaks in coherent sentences and, doesn't seem to like be 1 foot into the grave. And if that's Kamala Harris, fuck it, it's Kamala Harris.
Is she still like unlikable or has that changed?
I don't know. I mean, like I haven't watched enough. Like my impression was formed back in like the 2020 primaries. So I don't know. Maybe she's like had like a charisma glow up or something, but I haven't been like watching her new stuff. I will say like her ad reads that I get every now and then, like, begging me for all of my $0. Like don't really give me like a great impression, but I mean, like, let's be real, like political ads are never fun. Aside from Bernie Sanders had some pretty funny ones. What
did she do as vice president? Because to be honest, I don't know.
She got the border, which kind of sucks because like people don't like the fact that people are coming over the border. But yeah, she was like sent down to like Latin America to like basically tell them to stay the fuck home.
Okay.
It didn't work, but
Yeah. Also, it's like the things she's doing now in order to, I guess, improve her chances of securing everything is like now she's getting sponsorships or like shout outs from like all these like rappers and like Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, I saw that she was like performing or something at a rally, right?
Hey, but Trump has been doing the same thing. He went on Aiden Ross's stream.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, dude. At some point, these guys they were like, just let Gen Z cook on this. Like,
I mean, it's bound to happen.
That's just what it's become.
Like streamers and like rappers, like content creators, they're like.
That's how you get the dub now. Yeah.
I mean, I think this bodes poorly for our generation, if I'm being honest.
It's just the truth, though. Like,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, Noah and I were talking about this the other day, but like, most people, I think, get a lot of their entertainment from like streamers or YouTubers rather than like movies.
I mean, most of like what population, like the Gen Z?
Most of our generation. Yeah, most of our generation. So, like, if you want to reach that target population, like, going after a streamer is not really that bad of a strategy.
I'd say it's a pretty good strategy.
But, like, generally, they don't do that because they're aiming for people who vote more often, older people, right?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like just in general, Trump already has that kind of base.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know enough.
Like, isn't it, like, some crazy thing? I remember hearing one point, like 90% of the people who voted in like Plano elections, for example, were above 60 or some shit.
What, 90%?
Yeah, I'm just like pulling numbers out of my ass, but I'm pretty sure it's
I
pretty
mean,
close.
local elections, I could
Says
kind of
the
believe
Fed
that.
representative.
I mean, like, nobody
Yeah.
ever votes in like local elections and stuff because nobody really gives a shit.
That's true. It's probably less skewed for the general election, but still.
Yeah.
But I think it's something like only 30% of people in general vote.
No, yeah, it's pretty bad. I think it's like something like only about 50% of like all eligible voters ever show up at like any given election, roughly.
What do you think they're doing?
Not voting, clearly.
I think most of them just like write it off. They're like, oh, this guy's gonna win, or this person's gonna win. My vote's not gonna do anything.
Do you think they're even that in tune with the politics?
Hell no.
No, but I mean, you've got to hear. They've heard about it. Like, it's impossible not to.
Do you think there's a place where they just don't know who is the president?
Honestly, probably. Like, look, there's a lot of Americans, and that's it's a lot of stupid people if we're being real. Okay, it's not unique to America. Like, I feel like Americans get a bad rap, but like every country is full of dumbasses. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's probably a good thing that they're not voting if we're being real.
We've talked about this before, but like the average intelligence level that we like, at least my perception of it in high school was like the average intelligence is like, pretty solid, pretty up there. But then once you go to college, it's like the average intelligence is way lower than I thought it was.
For me, it actually increased.
Really?
At least, yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, like CMU is pretty good, but like, I feel like the AP class at Plano West at least was pretty top tier.
I mean, even just like the debate team, I think was pretty top tier.
Yeah, I mean, Plano West is like a different beast though, bro. Like,
I mean, we underachieved because we didn't get into Ivies. Like, that's kind of where we were at.
that was our failure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think that's just obscene.
But Jith, you've recently traveled, right?
I recently have traveled, yes, Cobb. How astute of you. And to a couple places,
We mentioned
actually.
it in the past episode of Stating the Obvious, which you should go and watch.
Yes. Okay.
I
I'm with no one now.
think we can calm a
I'm
little
with
bit
no
down
one
on
out.
this now.
Go.
All right, Jith, tell me about your trip.
Yeah, so I went to Cancun. It was a blast. All inclusives are low-key worth. Like, I think even if you're not drinking, it's low-key worth. Which is kind of insane to say. It depends on the specific one, of course. But the one we went to was like, if we had to actually go, buy meals every day, it would have racked up to more than the cost of the all-inclusive, like by far and away. So I generally think it's a good deal because you're already, paying for a hotel room no matter what. And so just the food whenever you want it, because they have constant buffet throughout the whole day. It's just like so nice. And then they have 2 really nice sit-down restaurants that you can go to for dinner or lunch or whatever. And those are also nice. And so there's just, and we have 24/7 room service. So there's just no downsides to this happening. We just get fries at like midnight if we want. Like, it's a good time. And Cancun itself is obviously beautiful. The beaches. They have like swimming holes that you can go jump in. So we jumped in those.
Swimming holes? I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
They're called cenotes. So if you look up CENOTES, essentially they're like, honestly, you just have to look them up. I don't know how to describe it.
Aren't they just like holes full of water?
Yeah, like just holes with water.
Yeah, it's a
can
hole you swim in. Swimming hole.
Yeah, the swimming hole. Dude, that's you're hearing me and Noah say that together. Plano West. OR. Returns. Actually, we were never that insane.
No, we were so out of sync.
Getting sidetracked. That was really fun. And then this past week, I was actually in North Carolina. And that was for the final intern summit for my internship that I had this summer. And I was specifically in Charlotte. Dude, Charlotte as a city is not the vibe. It just feels like an NPC city.
That's pretty rough, man.
Rip Charlotte.
I don't know how else to describe it. And to be fair, obviously I was only there for a week and I didn't explore that much. But just some of my interactions with people and the people from my company were fine. It's just the random people you meet like restaurants or your Uber drivers and stuff. It just felt like everybody was an NPC. And there's nothing to do ever. So The city itself, I'm not a huge fan of. In terms of everything, I presented, it all went great. I'll find out about a return offer probably in the next week. But
Are you expecting one?
I would like to be confident and say yes, I am expecting one. But
Very nice.
obviously, like if it doesn't happen, that's life. And I don't think I'm entitled to one. No one is entitled to one. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I feel like I did a good job. I didn't do anything like too terrible.
I think it's probably going to depend more on the state of the economy if we're being real. I mean, looks like things might be going down.
It's also a question of like how much is that offer going to be for? So like it might be worse or better just depending on like a few things. But it's also like how much they want you back. Do you know what I mean? So if you did a really, really like invaluable job for them, then even if they don't give you like their best offer, you can negotiate your way up to it. But if they're like hesitant to give you one and then you try to negotiate, you're probably just screwed. I don't know. But yeah, that is what has been going on in my life.
Do any of us have lives? Like any of us like do things? Because I don't.
I don't understand the question. What is-
Like just saying like well, that's my life. Like, you know, I feel like usually
What
when
is
you
it?
say that, like the
I was waiting
expectation.
for someone to chime in to tell me about that.
Yeah, like we don't have lives. Like
I'm gonna do my own transition now. I just got back today from Charlotte actually, which is why I may sound a little tired. But when I got home, first thing I did, I turned on the television to watch the second half of the USA Serbia basketball game in the Olympics.
Dude, that game was so good.
It did. At the end of the third quarter, USA down 15. 15.
But then they come back.
From the jaws of death. Nah, that's actually like such a dream team lineup. If we can't win this, like
yeah, like what it
Noah Lyles was right, bro. Like champions of what? But I have faith, bro, in Lopuki Bear. I trust.
who's the other team in the finals?
France.
Of course.
Apparently, they have a pretty good team,
dude.
right?
Like France.
Yeah.
I mean, see, a lot of the thing is for other countries, like US, obviously every player on that team is well known and recognized, has hella clout. But I feel like with other countries, it's like you have one, maybe two people that are currently in the NBA that have like the clout. Like for instance, right, on Serbia, it's obviously Jokic. And on France, it's Wemby. But I don't know. These teams are all like, the USA is too self-obsessed, if you ask me. The NFL does the same thing where if you win the Super Bowl, they're like, we're the best like team in the world. And I'm like, probably not.
I mean, world champion sounds a lot better than American champions.
I mean, but they're not the world champions, dude. I feel like other countries could put together like very good football teams, but no one plays that sport because like why?
I mean, the NBA includes like one team in Canada, making it technically an international sport.
That is true.
It's like a binational sport.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like it would just take a lot of like infrastructure to like build up the sort of like World Cup but basketball type thing. And
They have a FIBA, right? They already have a FIBA.
They have FIBA. Yeah, it exists, but it's just not as big a deal like as the NBA.
But I feel like most players who are like Omega good, they come to the US to play anyway, right? Is it?
I mean, yeah, that's where all the money is.
Yeah, that's where the money is, exactly. So that's why people will come to the US. Like, so much money's in the NBA. With soccer, it's like very, very different, right? Like, it's literally like a global phenomenon, like as a sport. Every country is interested in it.
Yeah, but I feel like most of the money is still located in Europe.
But like the money's in Europe, but
yeah,
the
everybody
effect
plays
it has,
They all play.
everybody,
Yeah.
like literally everybody. So I don't know, and that's why the FIFA World Cup is like
the most watched.
Yeah, the most watched thing it is. Yeah.
Ever. Yeah.
It's like, do you guys think the U.S. is just gonna get like clapped next Olympics? Because I mean, out of like the players we have on the current team, like who's gonna stick around?
LeBron's still going to be playing. He's going to be in a wheelchair, but he's still going to be playing.
LeBron's gonna be like, fuck, I'm gonna go get gold in the Paralympics too.
Run it up. You know what's interesting? I don't understand why we don't put like 3 of those motherfuckers into the 3v3 Olympic like
Yeah, I didn't get that either. I don't know if it's like exclusive, like you have to play one or the other.
I don't think it is. You can participate in multiple events at the Olympics, right? You can do the 100 meter, 200 meter, like.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's different for basketball.
Oh,
I
I
don't
think
know.
the reasoning is like within the US, like 3v3 leagues exist for like basketball. And so they try to take people like the professionals from that
Oh,
who
from
are
that
specific
league.
to 3v3.
Okay.
But I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like you put any one of those players that are on like the USA team, they'll clap all
Yeah,
like
they probably
everybody,
will.
bro.
Yeah.
It makes no sense at all, in my opinion.
And then obviously you guys saw gymnastics, right?
Yeah.
They just like clapped everybody. You know, one of the girls on that team is from Plano.
Yeah, there are a lot of Texan gymnasts.
I mean, that's because like the huge women's gymnast thing is down in Houston.
I see.
So like everybody moves to Texas for it.
But a lot of
I
the
don't know that.
hometown, like a lot of their hometowns in the, like, you know, when they do the introductions, is in Texas.
Oh yeah, Texas I think is like it would be like number 8 or something like that if it was a country.
Damn. That's ridiculous.
That's fire, bro.
Like she's in high school still.
What?
The young girl.
And she's in the
on
Olympics?
Yeah, she's like her name's like Haley Rivera.
Dude, I'm actually
She's
gonna
like one of the 5 that competes for the all around with the women's team with like Simone Biles and all that kind of stuff. She's the young one. She's 16 and she lives in Plano. So I think she goes to senior.
Bro, I'm so learning about this just constantly makes me feel worse and worse about my life.
Wasn't there like a skateboarder who was like 11 or something?
Yeah, there was a Japanese skateboarder who was 11 competing in the Olympics.
What the hell? That's
She hasn't even graduated elementary school
What the
yet.
hell?
She is still in elementary school and she's already an Olympian.
Oh my god. That's too good. That's too good.
Can you imagine the clout you walk into elementary school, come back after winning a gold medal? Like, that's just crazy. That's aura, bro. That's going
You know
to
who
a
else
level
has aura? Have you seen this Turkish shooter, man?
No,
The guy who competed in like airsoft shooting for Turkey
That's
with like
aura, bro.
zero equipment. That man
It's
has
him and the
aura.
Korean girl.
No, that shit looks like it's straight out of an anime, dude. Like
No, like
with their
100%.
eyepieces and everything.
Just like make it an anime, just like high tech, like, you know, Korean girl shooter and like just like some Turkish guy, and like they just go around like killing people. I'd watch that.
Deadly duo. I'd watch that.
That's what would get Noah back into anime.
Absolutely.
Would it really?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's fire. No, Brene, we'll write it.
Well, we're writing it too.
We'll
Damn,
make
okay.
it. We'll write it. We can do it, Brene. Trust. We'll use our knowledge from all the animes we've now watched. I'm trying to catch up to you still. I feel like you fiended anime at some point that
Yeah, I mean,
I had no idea when you became an anime fiend. But
I still feel like I am far. I don't know
what have you seen?
I've seen many things. I've always thought about making a list, but I mean, I will at some point.
Just tell me like a few of the
The recent ones?
big ones. The recent ones, big ones, whatever.
I mean, JJK, Hunter x Hunter, Naruto Shippuden, Death Note, One Punch, Mob Psycho, My Hero Academia,
Oh my
Solo
god.
Leveling.
I love Solo Leveling. That shit was so good.
I am sure there are plenty more, but I just cannot remember.
So how much Japanese can you speak now?
Yeah, true.
I can say arigato, I can say itadakimasu, I can say
Tenkai. Tenkai.
ikuzu, I can say, I don't know, that's my extent. I mean, there's some other stuff, I cannot recall it.
Do you find yourself becoming... Sorry, I know we're diverting from the Olympics right now. Let's finish this tangent up. But I want to ask Renee, do you find yourself doing like weeb shit? Because like, I feel like I'm heading down that path and I don't know if it's like Noah said it during one ARAM we were playing and I was like, what is happening to me?
What do you mean, doing weird shit?
Like, do you remember that ARAM? Were you there? I was like going on a run. Like I was going on a tear. I was playing Vlad, I think. and has like domain expansion.
Okay, I think I do remember this actually.
Like I was absolutely just like losing my mind.
I mean, I've done it. Yes, I have done these
You've
things.
done a domain expansion?
I've never said domain expansion. I've said this is my domain.
No, am I cooked? Chat, am I cooked?
I mean, I will say, like, you should just be glad that you're having this phase of your life now and not like 10 years ago. You at least possess some semblance of like self-regulation, self-awareness now. Could you imagine like if you were in middle school and like going down this path?
It would be bad.
Wait, yeah.
Oh no, that would be bad.
The cringe would just be ascended.
I feel like Noah wouldn't even be friends with me, bro. Noah would not associate with my ass.
We were all pretty cringe back then. It was middle school.
We were all very cringe though, bro. Like that was still. I feel like regardless, that was a bad time.
Has middle school been a good time for anybody in like the history of humanity?
Dude, the Google Hangouts, dude.
Oh my god. I'm glad like Google just like fucking killed that service. Like
Destroyed the whole Google Plus system.
yeah. Like thank God Google can't like stick to like a new product for shit.
Oh my god, I don't even want to do it. I'm actually like trauma.
It haunts
Just
me
trauma.
to this day. It haunts me.
Dude, the things that I would post, I'd be like, oh yeah, like this is great.
Oh my god, dude.
Like, dude. Oh god, please talk about something else. God, you're going to do it now.
Yeah, I just wanted
Do
to
it
say
now,
that the Olympics are coming to the U.S. next year, or next 4 years, and we should go to some events. Specifically, they're introducing gaming as an event in the next
Really?
Olympics 2028. There's an event called gaming, and
What
I'm
do you-
interested
what do
to
you
see
play?
what games they choose. I don't know. It's just like it's about video games. That's all I really know about it. I don't know what games they're gonna pick, but that should be interesting. I feel like I honestly I don't know if I feel like that's probably not.
I feel like it has to be like League, like
It's gotta be
CS.
League, right?
Like there's got
There's no way it's League. Yeah, it has to be something that appeals to the general population,
Guys, if
right?
it's League, bro, you'll see me on that stage.
representing
You'll see me on
India.
that stage. We're not going. We're participating. We're not just going to watch.
Okay. Now everybody will know the power of the flash auto.
For
I'll
now.
be there too.
I mean, like for
Yeah.
real though, like I mean, like what else can you pick, right? Like if we're talking like competitive like video gaming and not like fucking Minecraft speed runs, like I mean, League of Legends is like probably like the biggest competitive multiplayer game like in.
Over CS.
I think it's bigger than CS, honestly.
Hmm.
I mean, like it's big in Asia, and Asia just has more people. Like CS
That's
is
true.
big in like
Yeah,
Europe and
yeah.
like the US and like I don't know. We just like population overmatch.
But there's also like European League games
Yeah,
Right.
there's that
So-
too. I mean, no, I mean,
that are like prevalent on the international stage. At least.
like league's confusing, but like let's be real, like some of the other sports they have out there are like fucking confusing too. Like especially the ones that happen in the pool. Like half the time I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like they're just like all like twirling and like hitting balls and shit and diving off
You
boards.
mean
I
water
don't know.
polo.
Like, yeah, like whatever. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, like sure, like it's hard to understand like what's happening in a high level league game, but like also like half the time you watch an Olympic sport and like, you know, something happens and like somebody like does something really cool and like you have no idea. Like everybody else, like the announcers are like just going ape shit, just like, oh my god, nobody's ever done that in the history of the sport, and you're just like, what? I didn't notice anything.
But the announcers make it hype anyway.
Yeah. I mean, like that's just what they got to do, you know. Like, I mean, any video game you pick is going to be kind of confusing, honestly. I mean, I'm just kind of curious because like there's like that meme about like the Olympic Village just like fucking 24/7 every Olympics. Like, I feel like if they introduce gamers into that, like we're just gonna see like
Stop.
yeah, everything would just stop. Just like the aura would be too powerful. Like the virgin aura just overpower everything else.
The virgin aura, bro.
Can you imagine
Crazy.
Faker with a gold medal?
That would be
Faker
deserved.
as an Olympian.
But I don't think you get gold because once again I am participating.
That's true. That's true.
So he's pretty cooked. Respectfully, Faker. I'm looking scared of insulting Faker. Is that weird?
Yes,
Like I feel like it's gonna come for
Okay,
me.
yeah.
dude. I don't wonder. Like, okay, Faker's
Faker
like a
aura,
really good league player, but like I swear to God, like Riot just like glazes him nonstop. Like, yes,
So
I
hard,
understand
bro.
he's a GOAT. Like, I understand he's a GOAT, but like,
He is the GOAT, undisputed.
could you imagine if like the NBA made like a whole fucking season about like Michael Jordan or like LeBron James? Just like, oh yeah, on this day, like 10 years ago, like LeBron James made his first 3-pointer in the NBA. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, get off his dick.
Yeah. And like
Not
especially if I was like a pro league player or whatever, I'd be like pretty annoyed with that. Like
I
even
mean, I
if
think
he's
Faker
like
doesn't
just
even give
better.
a shit. Faker's probably like, why are you doing all this? Like, just let me play League, please.
He doesn't even use his own $500 RE skin.
Dude, imagine Riot made him pay for it.
That would be pretty rough.
That would-
Not gonna lie.
like that wouldn't surprise me, bro. Riot is definitely a company.
This is true.
No shade though.
The,
Actually, hella shade.
yeah, I mean, the only good part of Riot is their music department.
Dude, can they just stop making games? Just convert. Like, they need to make movies and like albums. 1000%. Like, they shouldn't be doing anything else.
I swear, like, video game companies, like, half the time would be better off just making, like, TV shows or movies or whatever. Like, the Overwatch shorts were, like, far better than the game itself.
Oh yeah, bro, those.
Like, you watch the shorts and
Cooked
you're, like,
beyond
fucking
comprehension.
crying, like, just, like, you know, over, like, this, like, fucking robot and its pet bird or, like, you know, honor and glory. And then you get in the game and you're just like, why the fuck is this stupid ass Genji just, like, diving their backline?
Yeah, but then in the cinematic you hear Yuji no Kyokure, and you're like, oh fuck.
And then meanwhile, the game is just like Lucio, like just like booping the entire enemy team off like a cliff for the third time, and everyone just
That's
like
so
raging
fun,
in
though.
comms.
I love playing Lucio, bro. It's also so funny when people are like low HP and you like change your healing thing, but is like genuinely not doing shit. Speed, boom.
Wasn't Jit the Widowmaker main?
Yeah, he was 100%.
You know, make
I
it
play a little bit of everything though. Brene, say something in French. Widowmaker, like.
Personne ne échappe mon regard.
What?
That's one of her lines. It's like, no one can hide from my sights. Personne n'échappe. Something like personne n'échappe même pas mon regard. Something like that.
I just
don't know.
remember
I don't
like
think she had the best.
crude.
All I remember is that there was this cowboy character
Mada
who
mada.
like slowed down time with his ult.
What?
Wasn't there some
I
cowboy
don't know.
character who like slowed down time?
Oh,
You mean
He
McCree?
doesn't slow down time. He
Just targets
Okay.
people.
Just
It kind of does look like he slows down time though.
Yeah.
Okay,
He just like auto locks.
Can we
Oh,
talk
okay.
about how like McCree guy's name changed because apparently like the dude he was named after was like a creep or something?
Oh yeah, that was his name, McCree. That was his name.
He's like Cassidy now.
Yeah, now he's Cassidy, bro.
That was in a creep and comments like, yep, that's it.
I mean, I never played Overwatch. I just played. I mean, the only time I played it was when Jit and I did like he was on keyboard and I was on mouse or something like that. That's the only time I ever played Overwatch.
And that was like the
That was
best day
funny.
of your life, Cobb.
Yeah,
You'll never forget it.
I will not.
I'm saying though, mada mada.
I mean, this is what I'm saying though. Like, you know, used to be like there were like a bunch of like multiplayer games to pick from. Now it's like, I don't know, like I feel like all the like it feels like there should have been like a new generation of like big multiplayer releases to like replace the last generation, but instead they're just kind of getting worn out.
No, they are. Like, I can't find any. Like, Chain Together is probably the most.
I mean, that's also kind of just like a fad. Like it's not like a league or a.
It's like more of an indie.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Yeah,
it's,
like
it's like
more
gonna be like a
game.
fun
Yeah.
thing, but it's not. We're not gonna like grind it, you know, like not like Clash.
It's not something you keep
Yeah.
playing. Yeah, I agree. Like, after you probably beat it, you
Yeah,
probably stop
Yeah.
playing the game.
I mean, there was like Lethal Company, right? Lethal Company was big for a while. That was multiplayer. Phasmophobia, I guess.
I feel like there's just like this new genre of like streamer games. Like it's like Phasmophobia, Lethal Company. There was like a new one. Like what was it called? Like Content Warning or something.
Oh yeah, the thing where you like literally make content in the game.
Yeah. Like I feel like it's just like this new genre of just like people in this like spooky situation, and like, you know, it's just for all the streamers to like play and then just like scream at each other.
But I mean, I guess that's the most popular way to get your game out.
Yeah, I mean, like they're just playing the environment, marketing environment. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sad by how like all the like last gen of like multiplayer releases turned out. I was hoping like one of them would like hit it big, like Titanfall, Destiny, Overwatch. Like I feel like all of those were like so hype and then they just died.
Even Helldivers 2, like that kind of died out.
Yeah, I mean, I have been playing a little bit of Helldivers myself. I mean, it's all right.
But it's not like a big,
like,
huge community, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a Destiny level game. It's still good for what it is. But yeah, like it's not like Destiny or anything like that. Not as much content.
Oh, I miss those days, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe we're just growing out of it.
I don't
think
know.
it's just growing out of it just because like the market literally doesn't exist. Like I guess maybe Fortnite, maybe.
There's just game like Valorant is like a big like a lot of people still play Valorant.
Yeah, but Valorant's kind of like CS:GO. Like it's not like it's a very particular kind of game.
I mean, like there are other options that we'll never probably explore, like Dota or like.
I don't know.
There is stuff out there, but the thing is, there's no new games that are like. There's that new Marvel game that's coming soon. That's kind of like Overwatch.
Yeah, Marvel Rivals. That actually looks pretty good.
Really, I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe.
I feel like the track record hasn't been great, like with those sort of like tiny games.
I know, but I feel like it'll be at least worth it for us to try, especially because it'll be engaging enough since it's Marvel characters.
Yeah,
at
it's
least
worth
like,
a shot
initially.
Maybe. Well,
because if we can play a Spider-Man,
like it's at the very least, it's worth us trying it and then seeing if we like it.
Yeah, speaking of Marvel, Wolverine, Deadpool.
Recently,
Ring a
Noah
bell?
and I, we have gone and seen the new movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. PJ and Jip haven't seen it, so I will be keeping my analysis spoiler free. I'll still talk about the movie, but I'm not going to give away any of the big secrets or reveals or anything like that. I'll just talk about...
I can't believe Disney just greenlit the full frontal nudity scene. Like,
I can't believe it.
I mean, like, good for them. Like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds on screen. Just huge representation for the gay community.
Representation. Huge.
What the hell? This is a spoiler for sure, right?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
We're just saying. Or are we?
What?
You don't know. Intrigue.
Noah had me hooked for a second, bro. I was like so excited. And now what? Now what am I supposed to do?
Here's the thing. This was by far, with the exception of maybe Guardians 3, the best movie since like No Way Home. Right? Like Guardians 3 was good too, but besides that, all the other movies for the past like 2-3 years have not been at their normal level. I think this kind of brought it back up. Like this was a solid movie. It accomplished a lot of the things that I think like Marvel was lacking, to be honest. I think like people were invested in the character and they like actually had character development, which you do not see that like with Shuri. You do not see that with like Captain Marvel. Like I feel like the Deadpool and the Wolverine you meet at the beginning of the movie versus the end of the movie, like they've changed and they integrate well into the larger picture of like Marvel. And I think a lot of that is because of the writing. And I think they had like a well-functioned like storyline like going into it, which I think some of the other movies they were like kind of fragmented. This one felt like a cohesive storyline that like I cared about the characters throughout the entire movie. And it even like the villain of the movie was like not very good, but like they weren't very involved. So I think it worked out because the focus was on like Deadpool and Wolverine. And I think they need to kind of keep that momentum going forward, is like focusing on their key like cornerstone characters, making people invested into them the same way they kind of did in like with like Iron Man and Cap and all. Like get people invested in the characters and then you can expand to this larger universe. I think they like went, like we said this a million times, but they went too big after Endgame and they need to like scale it back down and like focus on characters. Right? But in terms of like the actual movie itself, humor was really, really good. I think that coupled with like a lot of the soundtrack was it wasn't like some OP soundtrack like Hans Zimmer or anything, but it just fit the scene very, very well. They had a lot of one-liners, which I know PJ will find funny. And it was very fast-paced, which I liked.
I think it was a movie worth seeing. Like, I feel like Marvel's been in like this like valley of mid lately, and I think like that's like the first movie since like Guardians 3 that like I saw, and I was like, yeah, I like that one.
And I think the other thing is it made me look forward to like the future movies, which like the other ones didn't.
I don't know. I like what you said about fast-paced movies, because Dune is like
yeah. This is like the opposite
so
of Dune.
slow. The first ones, I still haven't finished watching it, dude. Like I need the fast pace. I feel like I'm just like,
I mean, yeah, that's just
dopamine.
good style. Like there's some people who really like to
addicted.
do like slow paced stuff, but
I liked it. I mean, I don't know.
But anyway, talking about like the larger MCU, which we have not done in a while, there have been a few big announcements that they've made recently. The first of which is like Fantastic Four stuff, which is coming out next year. In fact, the Fantastic Four movie comes out the same day as like the new Superman movie, like the start of the whole DC saga stuff. So I guess they're going straight into full-fledged competition with each other. But Fantastic Four looks decent from what I've seen so far, and the leaks that have come out. Pedro, I like that man. Set in the 60s, which I kind of like the different take, I guess, on the characters. It's not like the same thing we've seen over and over and over again. But the bigger news is they've announced the next two Avengers films. The first one is Secret Wars, and the second one is called Doomsday. And they've brought back the Russo brothers to direct those two movies, and Doctor Doom is being played by RDJ. So that was pretty big. They've completely pivoted away from like Kang entirely, and yeah, which I think they had to. Like, you can't sit on Kang anymore. But what do you guys think about like RDJ as Doom? Like, Doom is like by far like my top two villains of all time. Like, I think the character is so good. What do you think about is it going to be an Iron Man variant? What do you think?
Maybe. I think it may be an Iron Man variant. I heard some stuff about that being a thing.
Who did you hear it from? Like, who do you know at Marvel?
You heard it from Jay Powell.
Not like from a person, but just like on the internet.
I don't know. I mean, personally, I'm not a big fan.
I can understand both sides of this. At the very least, it got me excited for the next films, because Secret Wars and Doomsday, they're like two of my favorite comic book storylines. So
look, the problem I have with it is like, you want your big villain to like have like a really strong identity. Like Thanos like always had like consistent presence, consistent like identity, even like when they were like clearly trying to figure out like his look. And like, I don't know if you remember like the like post-credit scenes in like the first phase of Marvel movies, but like Thanos was like fucking like blue, then like red, and kind of like a weird saturated purple. Like he changed like design like a bunch of times, but like the sort of like feel of his character like was pretty consistent. Like, you kind of always knew what this guy was about. I feel like by making RDJ as like Doctor Doom, like, you're not allowing the character to develop their own identity. Like, everyone's just going to compare them to Iron Man, like just talk about how like RDJ's back for like, Doctor Doom, like what the fuck are they doing? Like,
maybe, but I feel like it's
know.
a little too soon to make that judgment.
Maybe. I just feel like you could have done better. Like, you could have done better. Like, there's a lot of really top tier actors.
Who would you have casted?
Bro, I don't fucking know. Just not RDJ. There's like a whole bunch of actors out there in Hollywood that probably like would do like a good job. Like,
who's the main guy from Oppenheimer? He was like the fan cast.
Oh yeah, like Cillian Murphy.
Oh, Cillian Murphy. He would be crazy.
Like Cillian Murphy was like
Really?
Scarecrow in the Dark Knight movies. Like he can do a villain.
Yeah, he was. He can do.
I mean,
That's
like
right.
fuck it, get Tom Cruise to do it. Like
Tom Cruise is underused as a villain.
yeah, let that guy be a villain. I'm just saying. Like
Has he ever been a villain in a movie?
he was like a villain in like one movie from like the early 2000s. Like he kind of killed it.
Wait, he was like quote unquote somewhat of a villain, like an ambiguous character in Tropic Thunder.
Well, I guess.
There's a Tropic Thunder, bro. Everyone is an op in Tropic Thunder, bro. There's no good people in that
There
movie.
are no heroes in Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder funny
No,
as
dude,
hell.
it's
though.
like one of my
Yeah.
favorite movies.
They would never make that nowadays.
Dude, that's so sad though, isn't it? Like, why can't we still have movies like that?
I don't
get
know.
it.
I feel like it's like a one in the middle. Like it's like such a fine line between like you have to do it in just the right way, otherwise
But they
it's cringe.
did that. They got it.
Like having Robert Downey Jr. play blackface, like that's like such like a wild move, honestly. Like it could have gone wrong. Like it could have gone really wrong. Like you just gotta be like honest about that.
Yeah. I mean, true.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like
But like the Office, right? I feel like is another example of like a show that you would struggle a bit more to make today. Like so many of the scenes
I mean,
are
I think it's just probably not
problematic, right?
relatable
Like,
today as much. Like that kind of like cubicle
That's
office
also
culture,
true.
like
That's also very
I
true.
don't know, like a lot of people just don't work in that environment anymore.
Just like a Zoom call.
virtual office.
That would be the worst TV show. Could you imagine?
I think there are a few movies on Netflix that are kind of in that
Actually, I
style
could.
where it's like you're looking at someone's phone screen for the entire movie.
I mean, this has been a thing for a while. It's one of my not my most favorites, but like one movie that I like. The Cloverfield Paradox is like that.
What is that about?
It's from the perspective of someone with a video recorder.
So you're watching the video recorder footage.
Yeah.
So it's like a found flick, like
A what flick?
found footage
Found
film.
footage.
Like a found footage film. Like the Blair Witch Project is like we're not actually watching like the movie, we're watching the footage that they have.
Yeah.
They
Well,
like
I mean,
they went,
you
into the
don't
forest
see
and, like-
anyone playing the footage. It's just the quality is as if it is shot. Like you basically just see like the past 5 saved like videos in this recorder.
Yeah. No. That's what I'm saying. That's the Blair Witch Project is too. It's like a found footage
I see.
flick. That's what they're called. It's like, oh,
I didn't
we
know
found
that.
the footage and watching it is just us. The movie is us watching the footage.
Well, no, you don't see anyone watching the footage. You just see the footage in this case.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
we're the ones watching the footage.
Oh,
Renee.
okay. I see. I understand.
Pranay thinks like
we're
It
watching
entire
just every
movie
time
is
makes
just-
sense, and then he would just like retract his statement, and I'm like, oh,
Pranay just
why
thinks
do
like the
you-
entire
why do
movie
you
is just
do
like
that?
you watching somebody watching a movie.
Yeah, that's what I was like. What kind of fucking movie is this,
You're
bro?
just watching the back of their head the whole time.
Dude, that's a dog shit
It's like
movie.
The Sims, bro. Like, that's actually just that's so funny. I don't understand those like people be playing The Sims or like Roblox and they just be doing like regular life activities like cooking and like sleeping and shit. I'm like,
You can do that in real life, you know.
Look, sometimes you just
Yeah,
want to
like,
have a W, like any W. Like maybe I didn't get out of bed in real life, but I got out of bed in Roblox. God damn it!
it's just so funny to me that like people just they live these virtual lives better than they do their actual lives.
And you guys remember
Why they be
Second
calling
Life?
people out like this.
Like Second Life.
Second Life.
You guys like was that like a thing for you guys when you were kids?
I don't even know what that is.
Well, I don't.
No.
Yeah.
How are
It
you?
was like this like from like the 2000s. It was like this like MMO that was like literally just like, you know, regular ass life. And like I think it was like the first attempt at like the whole like metaverse concept where like, you know, the game was just like you just live another life but in video game. And
That's just it's so
it
stupid.
is pretty
Like,
stupid. It was pretty stupid.
Like why? What do you gain?
I don't fucking know, man. I think as far as I recall, like it eventually just like kind of devolved into like, I don't know, like weird like fetish. Yeah,
Degeneracy.
because like I mean, who
Oh,
else
yeah,
is
for
using
sure,
it, right? Like
right.
you gotta have a reason to
'Cause
use
now
it.
you can hide behind the computer screen. Yeah, exactly, dude. It's like those VR games. Like it's all just weird shit. Damn. Maybe that's the. Maybe now these are the multiplayer
Yeah.
games we need to go play. Second Life. That'd be funny. Well,
Well,
Shall we do one more plug for the road?
For the road, shit.
I feel like I don't even want to do our outro plug because
We've
like,
already used it so
we've
much.
done enough. Okay, you guys know our outro. If you fuck with it, like, do what you want.
This was on the verge of giving up on this relationship. He's just like, you know what? Like, I can't change you. Like, I keep asking and asking, and you don't tell me anything. Like, I just do whatever you want.
Real, no, real. Okay, type shit. We'll see you in the next one.